Welcome to This Week in Colorado Soccer, the #1 online soccer show in the state of Colorado. I'm Eric Poloni alongside head coach Danny Sanchez. Coach, today we're coming to you from the Coors Event Center. We've got a big day, basketball media day today, so we're piggybacking off of the fun over here at Coors.
Pumped for men's, women's basketball. I think, is it men's basketball or is
men's
it both?
And women. I mean, it is a cavalcade.
We're excited for Tad and JR's first season to get rolling and get out there to support. So we're just we use their press conference area.
And I also like this is like a news desk feel.
Yes.
So we can throw to things. I'm sure there's a little box over our shoulders.
Yes.
We've got camera 2 over. Well, we would have camera 2 over here.
Yes, we have 1 camera.
Coach, big weekend for the Buffs. The number 22 Buffs improved to 13-4 on the season. A 3-way tie, a log jam at the top of the Pac-12 conference. Obviously, you probably don't care about that. You just want to win the next game. But 2-0 loss at Stanford, number 3 in the country. They are, as advertised, a very good team. And then Sunday went out, and we'll talk about the overtime thriller in a minute, but talk a little bit about Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford, you play Stanford and you're going to be chasing the game a little bit. And I felt the first half we did okay. We got to halftime, but we were kind of limping into halftime, to be honest. And we needed to get through the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. And we had to make some adjustments in the back. And unfortunately, they nabbed an early goal, and then they nabbed a second goal. So it was 2-0. It was a dangerous time for us as a team because we knew we had a tough game coming up on Sunday, but we also, we wanted to put some pressure and see if we could get ourselves back into the game for Stanford. So we pushed to late in the game, and I was pleased and proud of the team, the effort they put in. We're not happy that we lost, but felt that we competed very well and did some good things. But at the end of the day, it was a fair result. Stanford deserved the win, and we had to regroup for Cal on Sunday.
And of course, the team was in town for the big Stanford football game, so special thanks to Rick George, who helped the team get tickets to that game. And the Buffs pulled off the Big 10-5 victory, so that was pretty cool.
It was awesome, to be able to stay in the Bay Area and for football to be there and just when they're rolling and for all to be there. The thing I loved was just all the Buff fans there. It was just, even in our section, but the other section, and we were the loud ones with the passion, and it was a well-deserved win for the Buffs, a huge win for them and on the road, so we were really lucky to be a part of it.
And of course, you were inspired, obviously, because as we like to be social here on This Week in Colorado Soccer, Coach Mack bought the football team in and out after the big win at Stanford. And then, of course, Izzy Dalton has appreciated the inspiration as the Buffs were not the only, or the football team was not the only team in the Bay Area consuming in and out after their big victory.
I'm pretty sure that was the main motivation for the game against Cal, because there is an in and out right next to the San Francisco airport. So we don't eat like that all the time. Laura Anderson, our dietitian, it was a good reward from a team for a great effort and a great weekend going on the road against 2 tough teams and getting a split. So we felt that we'll throw them a bone, and they really enjoyed that dinner.
It's nice to have a treat every once in a while.
Yes, it is. We, unfortunately, treat too often, but for them, they don't get as many treats, so when they get it, they really appreciate it.
Yes, so that was a great. And then our old friend Sam Newman bringing back the Sanchez tag here in a tweet.
I'm just glad that Sam's still out and about. And he's married now, correct?
He is married, so that gives him more time to tweet, I guess.
To do things like that. So thanks, Sam, the former host of this great #1 online radio show in Colorado. So great to hear from you, Sam. Hope everything's well with the marriage.
And then... And then, Coach, of course, the double overtime thriller, probably not the way you wanted it to come out, but the Buffs did end up on the right end of the result. So at the end of the day, you got a nice win over a very tough number 10 Cal.
I mean, at the end of the day, USC beat Stanford 3-0, and then Cal turned around and beat USC 1-0. So Cal is, we feel, one of the top teams in the league and arguably one of the top teams in the country, especially with their attack. And having said that, they'd only given up 7 goals on the season coming into our match. Halftime, once again, I think we gutted out the first half a little bit and got to halftime 0-0. I think the difference between this game and the Stanford game is we really turned up the pressure. Danica scored a great goal. Morgan played her in, and she dribbled a couple people and scored a great goal. But we had the mentality we want to keep pressing, and then we won another ball, and Emily played a nice ball into Danica, and she got the second one. And I think at that point, as the game starts ticking, you start looking at the clock, and it seems like it stands still. I look at the clock, and then the time isn't moving, and I think we started dropping in too deep. but all the credit to Cal. I mean, they're so dangerous going forward. They get the goal with a couple minutes to go, and you could see at that point we were kind of hanging on, and then we give up a goal late, just like we did 4 years ago against them. Like I talked to the team. Got to overtime, but the difference was this time is we weren't sitting in for the point. Both teams were going for the 3 points. Both teams were going for the win. You know, we kind of going back and forth, and we won that free kick with about 30 seconds to go, and Stephanie served a great ball in, and obviously Taylor rose up, and just a fantastic finish with 2 seconds to go, so it couldn't have been much more dramatic. So it was a great win for the Buffs, especially on the road.
No offense to Emily Paxton, but last year the shortest player on the pitch scored the game winner, and this year the tallest player on the pitch scored the game winner.
That is true.
Andy, what's our stat of the week? Hopefully it's not height related.
Stat of the week is not height related. It is fitness related, and that is Morgan Stanton ran 16 miles in 2 matches this weekend.
She's pretty impressive back there as one of your captains, and she's really shored up that back line.
She's been awesome as the shield in front of the back four, and it was over 9 miles on Sunday, but never looked tired and ready to go. She could play another 90 minutes today, so she's been fantastic for us all year.
Well, that was last weekend, and it was a great weekend, or half of a great weekend,
yes.
But this weekend, Thursday, number 12 UCLA, 3 p.m. at Prentup Field. They're going to give out some Gatorade water bottles, so if that doesn't entice you to come out to Prentup Field, I don't know what does, other than maybe number 12 UCLA, a great team, and you'll match up against them. And then Sunday, number 5 USC, high noon, as you like to say. Doesn't get much easier for the Buffs, but I think you're up for the challenge. Both games on Pac-12 Network. Kick or treat. If you want candy and you have children, come out, have your kids get the candy and then steal it from them, or however you like to run things in your household. Yeah. And then, of course, Ralphie will be out there on Sunday, and Ralphie will run, but we won't tell the Trojans so that they can be a little scared when she buzzes their bench.
It's a huge week for us. We have the last 3 games at home. UCLA is 12th, but they'll be probably up to 8 or 9 once the new rankings come out today, and every bit deserving of that. A fantastic team that won a national championship a couple years ago, so that'll be a huge challenge for us at 3 p.m. on Thursday. And then obviously USC, like I said at the end of the day, tied at the top of the table with us with some really impressive wins this season, probably the most dynamic attack in the Pac-12. So that'll be another huge challenge for us. 3 p.m. on Thursday, but 79 degrees at kickoff. And once again, we had a great turnout a couple weeks ago when we played a Friday at 3. So I know that our administration is going to allow our employees to leave work a little bit early and get down to Prentup. We really appreciate a lot of support and the people in the community. I know a lot of kids are off school that day. We'd really love to get a good turnout because usually it's a great game. You're going to have 2 top 25 teams battling at the top of the Pac-12, and then Sunday, once again, with Ralphie. Who doesn't love Ralphie? So get there early, get there by 11 a.m., get some pictures with Ralphie, and like I said, along with the treats for the kids. So it's going to be a fantastic week at Prentup, and we hope that we can get a lot of supporters out.
Well, as always, you can follow the Buffs all season, cubuffs.com/soccer. Interact with the show, #TWICS. Good luck this weekend, Coach, and we'll see you next week.